Okay, so hello and welcome. We are here with Viviane Chauvet.
Hey, hi Vivian. Yesterday we did an amazing experience with two of our presenters, and we're really happy to say hi to you and to introduce you to our Stargate family and beyond.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here as always, Pragit and Jules. Thank you so much for having me today. I was so looking forward to this moment, and I know that I have such a really super busy healing schedule. So I tell my clients, okay, let's do the healing. Then I have to come here. I want to be with the Stargate family and be able to share with all of you. So thank you for your kindness, your patience. Thank you for holding space with me in my Arcturian group. We are so delighted to be here.
Well, I'm sure we have quite a few people that are tuning in for the first time. So it'd be really nice if you could say a little bit about who you are and your story and how you came to connect with the Stargate and anything else you'd like to mention.
With pleasure, of course. So let us begin by just introducing ourselves. I am known as I am an Arcturian being, and I return into this timeline of ascension, and I chose to come back as a advanced human hybrid. And what it means is that physically my vessel, my body was engineered by my Arcturian delegations. And basically who we are one of the most ancient and involved um, intergalactic groups that has been pretty much involved with the Earth ascension and the Earth history for well over 3 millions of years. So I come from an intergalactic group that is very much like master beings. I always says, think of us as master Zen. We have reached a level of unification, harmonization, ascension, and we are here to really help an entire civilizations to reach that level of reascending back to your true essence, to start to reactivating this inner divine map within yourself, this encoding within yourself, so you can really start to get these breakthrough, these moments to go, I know what it feels like to be in oneness. This is more than a concept. It is a state of being. It's an internal presence. And my journey began, especially when I returned to this planet in this form. In our beautiful friendship and partnership started almost going on now, almost a year ago at that point, almost, when we were both part of an online event called the
Yeah.
Global Tribe, and that event, that fateful event, where my team that day came to me and they said, "It is imperative for you to be part of this event." And I that day was like a 4 hours online event, and physically my vessel was a little bit having a fever. I was a little bit out of alignment, and the team was very, very much telling me that how much I have to be on this event. It's when I saw the both of you coming up with the Stargate behind. It's the synergy between the Stargate energy, your presence, the way you both spoke, the vibration. And I knew at that moment, and I recall, uh, if I remember correctly, the organizer put us, three of us together,
Yes.
says, "Women, right? You shall conduct the meditation for all of us, for the three of you." And we go, yes,
Yeah.
let's do it.
It was a surprise for all of us, but it worked out amazingly well.
It was blended. That's because I can tell you now is Alcazar and both your super consciousness, your aspect of you were already communicating with my Arcturian group. And I'm
Mm.
pointing to my banner right now because this is part of Arcturian like language. And my Arcturian father and my team are always around me. So after time you will see me going like this because I not only I can feel them, I can see them, but it's also relating to this is where we are. We're here with you.
Mm.
And that day, my Arcturian father was already communicating with both of you and Alcazar. We were already going to the Stargate energy. And that synergy that we have created that day was truly the marking point of bringing us back together in this timeline, in this lifetime. It is the beginning of a wonderful, beautiful collaboration, partnership, friendship, and even beyond. So I will always treasure that moment. And I'll tell you, I can even almost remember the date. It was at the end of December, right
Mhm.
Yeah.
before the holiday season kicked in, if I recall, around that winter solstice time.
Yeah. So you mentioned that we have codes inside us. Would you like to say something about that? And how come we're not accessing them already? What's stopping that?
That's a fantastic question, Pragit. This is part also of what we want to explore today, and it's going to be also an aspect of what I'm going to be offering as a workshop in Greece, and I'm really looking forward to it. The codes that we're referring to, if you look in terms of the human template, your the original celestial human template has been distorted and retracted into a more carbon-based three-dimensional form in the retraction of from a 12 fully strand DNA, fully evolved, the six double helix configuration, and all of its multidimensional points are retracted into a one double strand. And everything else, it's supposed to be labeled as unknown or irrelevant, which always makes me smile. So we are shifting back to that point of redecoding these overlays of codes of energy. So, for example, just if you look at the DNA structure, the codons, you have the telomere that is really supporting each strand, but you also have the codons. And through scientific research, the codons has a letter attribute to them, like a series of letters. What we see is more of a geometric pattern, almost like overlays of fractals of light that coexist within just of the codons of the DNA template. And these patterns or these codes contain seeds of creation, contain all the seeds that brings you back to the point of origination where the celestial human template was created. And then the souls start to embody these templates. So we are going to start to see a gentle reactivation. Now remember, we use the word re a lot because
Mhm.
we are reascending, we are reshifting, remembering, and we're going to re-access what is already rightfully encoded within you. This is part of who we are. Whether you call yourself a nocturne being like myself, whether you're a star seed, a soul emanation representing another intergalactic group system and frequency base, whether you are channeling and a very powerful being like Alcazar or Cryon, or you are an earth angel, it makes no difference at the end of the day, so to speak. We are still returning to that point of origination that is truly the prime creator aspect, all these archetypes within ourselves.
Mhm.
So this is an aspect of what we are talking about. And I can tell you one thing is being a nocturne being in this hybrid form, so I can be on the planet physically involved with all of you, so I can travel with the Stargate family, so I can be with both of you, Jules and Pragit, and everyone listening. This is why I chose to be in this form, because we know that our level of interactions, the level of work, the level of direct influence we can have is far more powerful than if I had stayed in my original Octran avatar self and interacting to you through certain channels or people or light workers or star seed on the planet.
Mm.
Everything counts, everything, of course, comes together, but we really wanted to be part. I chose to send out an aspect of my Arcturian avatar self directly on the planet. The only way we can do it is to have a body, a vessel, a conduit that will allow me to stay on a beautiful Earth planet, but such an heavy density with the gravity and all the third density, the duality, the polarizations, the heaviness of all the energies going on right now. So
Mm.
this is why when we look at the human template, the potential that we see, we look at it holographically and we can see how these codes or these encoding that have been there for a very, very long time, even to genetic pass on to ancestral lineage. it's starting to come back again, and there's a design, there's a memory activation, there is a reawakening coming through, if that makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense, and in one way it's very complex, and then another way it's very simple. And I like that you're saying remembering, because that's a phrase that Alcazar uses a lot. He says you don't have to work hard to get enlightened. You've already been enlightened. It's relax and allow the remembering. So it's beautiful that you also express it in that way. And it's lovely to hear your perspective on what this human form is.
Yeah. And you've given us a little tidbits of, I actually had the question in my head, like, can you speak about the body template evolution, which is what you came with the topic for. And you started to speak a little bit about it. And I'm wondering how this evolution inside of us individually relates to humanity as a whole and the timeline that we're on right now.
Oh, absolutely. And Pragit, thank you for acknowledging also the phrase of reawakening or reascending. And Alcazar, this is why we have been communicating. So you have to think about my delegations, the Arcturians in Alcazar and all these great masters. We have been interacting, so to speak, and being on the same councils of light, and we work in the same direction. So we knew that those who are boots on the ground, like yourselves, myself, that we will be simply rejoining and crossing our path. So I just want to acknowledge that very much. So, Jules, with pleasure, of course, this is all part of what we're exploring today, and that's going to also ties into what I'm going to be offering in Greece. But the quantum body template evolution, it's very much tied into what we're looking at, moving from a third dimensional body template to a more fifth dimensional design. And what it means is that there's a crystallization process that is helping us to move from this heavy carbon base where most people feel trapped in the body. There's a lot of star seeds or old souls who return to the body. They feel confined in the physical form because it feels heavy. The muscular system, we feel the gravity. We can feel like it's high maintenance if you think about it. That's always one thing I told the team. I'm like, whew, this body is wonderful, but at the same time, I need a lot of care. Like I'm taking care of a 2-year-old every single day in every step of the way. So the body template is shifting its ability in terms of consciousness, quantum communication, the way even the trillions of cells that builds up the body template is shifting to create a more conscious network of light. In other words, your body is moving out of what we call the old universal time matrix of more, lower self-based identity to more of a heart, soul identification and configuration in the body that is moving you from third dimensional baseline to a more fifth dimensional structure. And that's where you can feel as we speak those words, you can already feel the transition in between. That implies more ability to listen, to decode, to understand the language of the body, the way the body speaks to you all the time in every way until it manifests something physically as symptoms, whether it's through the cardiovascular system, whether it's through, the spinal column where the spine will store pocket of energy and then it will have a contraction point at that level, whether it's the lower back, whether it's the cervicals, whether it's to the atlas, that bridge between the atlas and the cervicals, that is very much your mental bridge right there in terms of thought form manifestation and how you're utilizing your thought form to manifest what kind of reality you feel attuned to. That's just an example of it. So your body structure is really moving itself from the need of going into aging, where the way the chromosomes interact with the DNA template, the way the communication comes through. And so the body is no longer instructed instructed, I mean, to says, okay, I'm young, stay young, I'm getting older. It's normal to have pain. It's normal to have vision issue. It's normal to have cataracts. And all of these distorted belief system that we've been implemented as a result of descending back into a third dimensional, dualistic, polarized way of perceiving ourselves, that level of being detached or feeling disconnected from source or higher source or from our higher self or even our star families. This is all part of the great shift that we are observing within the human collective consciousness on the planet, and even the planet herself is her body is moving. So think of it this way, that you are living and existing in coexistence, in synergy with an entire intelligent structure of life that includes a planet called Gaia, or we know her as Terra, and all of the structure that's shifting through the body structure, whether it's the earth body, whether it's the crystalline grids, whether it's the electromagnetic field, whether it's the solar frequencies coming in, whether it's the galactic core alignment. Everything has a direct impact into your physical form, because your body is a reflection of that intelligent ecosystem. And for you personally, your own body structure as a holistic intelligent system of energy and light, well, it is decoding all of the influences we're receiving. So, for example,
Mhm.
if you believe that the sun has negative impact on you, or the solar flares or the solar frequencies has disruption, the body will understand, message received, will make sure that we create a defense mechanism put in place as a solution to that belief system or that thought form.
Mhm.
So this is why we are seeing a more reharmonization between how we think, we feel, the conscious evolution, how we are expanding, as we are moving out of the brain-mind configuration and moving to a higher intellectual level of intelligence, shifting with the bridging of the heart center. And now we're moving to more soul-body fusion interaction. And this is where the body go, okay, now I'm allowed to evolve.
Mm.
I'm able to hold better the light frequency coming in, the shift in vibrations, the new solar frequency coming in, and I'm getting more in sync with the movement, the rhythm of the earth herself, who is shifting her body, her core start to throb. I don't know if you feel it, but I can feel Mother Gaia is vibrating at a whole different level.
Mhm.
And that means that these vibrations are reflecting onto you. Now, if you resist out of guilt, fear, anxiety, or the fear of fear itself without knowing what you are afraid of, what
Mm.
will happen is that it creates a resistance. So the body will say, no worry, I got you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to protect you. And I'm very faithful to you. I'm going to create a counter response to that in terms of symptoms or other form of distortion where the body says, see, I listen to you and I create that counter response. So
Mm.
this is just an aspect of it. And that's not even counting the multidimensional aspect of your body shifting. For example, your nervous system is moving into a whole different configuration. We can see that the ley lines of the body, we can see how much there's better communication between all of the chakra, all the interfaces within the body structure, and how the heart center is moving into the upper chakra, to the universal structure, and bringing that connections also to the lower chakras. So you're no longer operating from a fear-based, more primal fight or flight, responses or reactiveness. You're moving more in terms of a higher responses of consciousness, connections, understanding. So, for example, it will allow people to be less reactive in their response. So, for example, sometimes I get emails from clients going, hey, you know, I'm super happy to do this. And then a minute later they change their mind. You can tell that emotionally they're unstable, and that create a distortion within themselves, and that distortion is reflected back onto the person they're talking to, whether it's on me, whether it's on a friend, whether it's at work. And then suddenly that reflection, that internal response or that creation become a reflection into the other world. And then they get pushback and they said, look, and then he said, well, look what you've done to me. And like, no, I've done nothing to you. I've done something with you. I'm working with you. So the same thing about self-realization that is working with the body quantum evolution and how the template is going to supporting your awareness, how much more soul energy, how much more, how could I say that, ability you have to allowing that soul fusion coming in. And that's just an overview of it. I hope that also makes sense.
Well, you've given us a lot in that short discussion. But one thing that I've noticed is how strong my resistance is. These old conditionings are so strong. And because they're in the subconscious, they jump in before my conscious mind can actually say, hey, that's not the reality now. And a lot of people are experiencing physical ailments, which are, as you've said, a response to misguided beliefs and feelings. And one of the things that Alcazar has talked about in Greece is about stepping onto a whole new timeline that affects not just us individually, but humanity as a whole. And I just wondered what the Arcturian vision of that and what we're going to be sharing at that time. Because Alcazar has been stressing the importance of as many people being physically there as possible, and if not possible physically, to be with us energetically online. So what's the importance? I think this is also something about the timing of the event. So there's a lot in that question.
Well, indeed, we do agree is the importance of not only to be physically together. Because imagine, can you visualize for a moment, you are at Greece, right at this global gathering with all of us, myself, Jules, Prakit, the other wonderful presenters, and all the amazing light workers around the world coming together in one spot, one place, right on the island of Kosh. Right there, what you're feeling, it's already happening, is that we are building a catalyst of evolution. We are co-creating this catalyst of movement. And we are at a point, especially when we're coming from Egypt, from some of us going to be on the mystical journey, many of us going to be there. We are going to continue, and I get goosebumps on that one. It's a continuation of the work we're going to start implementing on a planetary level. To give you an aspect, is what we see the conjunction of two parallel of reality. It's we're going to be able to say we are embracing that branch of the fifth dimensional ascension reality that we're going to maintain, visualize, co-create, elevate, and manifest all together. So as we gather physically, we're amplifying the synergy of that catalyst in motion. In 2023 with 2024 are two binary years. So we talked about this at the beginning of this year. The Arcturians were very clear about it. Is everything that we are co-manifesting, clearing, uplifting, implementing this year, where a large aspect of this work is going to be a catalyst for 2024 and ushering us into finally that stability of what we call the ascension timeline. There's a lot of still reconnection that needs to take place. I think part of the work we're going to be doing in Egypt is to really restore Africa to its former original divine design and the activation of so many of the archives. whether it's to the Sphinx, whether it's to etheric archives, it's all the encoding of all the sites. And also we're going to utilize the Nile as a platform of amplification to really clear huge historical grids on the planet to help us to unwind from some genetic markers that we still carry in our DNA, to unwind all of these genetic markers, like to be submissive or how you have to work hard, all these belief system, all these genetics belief system that's been passed on, all these point that seem to hold humanity down. It's time to clear that, all of it. It's time to like shift and align ourselves. And it's like, think of it as it lightning lights, turning lights. And imagine this gathering when you're physically there. We're going to create waves of massive awakening energies, restoring the planet, helping the planet to finally move into that fifth dimensional ascended self so the Earth can finally take her rightful place within the solar system and even beyond. And that's what we are here to do. And we're here to remember our own ascension process, because I am already ascended, but I came back into this human form and I'm going back to the steps again, like many of us are doing. So imagining calling all the old souls, the masters, the star seed, and we're all going to be in one place. Can you imagine the potential we can truly manifest for all of us? And it's always for the highest and the greatest good. But the energy is a complete reversal of thought system. It's a complete shift from one polarizations to unification, from polarization back to unification. And that's part and aspect of what I'm seeing. And that includes those in the live stream as well, of course.
Yeah. And it's like we all know what it's like when you're working on a project, whatever it is, and you have 2 or 3 people working with you. It makes it easier. It makes it more fun. And to have 1,000 or more people together, all with the same intention. And not only that, what happens when you're in a group, large group like that, we start to feel supported with our new understandings, and we feel support in letting go of those old things which we know are still influencing us. And so apart from just being together with this large group of humanity, this is enormous, absolutely enormous group of supporting energies. And so the changes that are going to be happening that Viviane's talking about on a physical and higher dimensional level, it's going to be supported energetically. And again, when we're in a large group, we're more receptive. And so it's like everything is magnifying by everything else. And it's like, I am so I can't wait to have this experience. And as you said, we're coming from Egypt, and there's going to be an incredible experience and energetic happening there, a shift on the planet. And that energetic shift is going to be brought right into the whole Greece gathering in 10 days or 2 weeks later. It's amazing.
You started go ahead.
I was simply observing, and I want to hear what you have to say, Jules. I'm simply observing that we all been working so hard, and we also need a reprieve, that when we come together, we feel like, I'm with my tribe, I'm with my family. I am feeling that I am no longer alone in so many ways, and to feel that you are coming back with your tribe. That's also the reprieve that we all need, and the dedication that we all put in the work. And I can feel that from both of you right now. A lot of loads of really creating all of it. So we need to also align ourselves to have this most needed reprieve, reset, and just have the joy, the energy, the pleasure of being with each other as well.
Yeah.
Huh?
I feel that. And there's something magic that actually happens when we physically get together in person. It's like we create this bubble of higher consciousness.
Yeah.
It's quite something. And in the past, after I've like, for example, the global gathering we did in 2019 with 500 people, afterward I was like almost depressed because, and I talked to Alcazar about it, and he's like, beloved one, you've just been with like 500 light workers.
Yeah.
It's like we readjust to that higher reality so fast, and that bubble of support. Viviane, you've been speaking since we were on Maui together back in March, that there's some kind of like crux point. There's a reason we're coming together with 1,000 people at the time that we're coming together in October. And I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit about that.
Yes, of course. And thank you for remembering, Jules. This is something we have foreseen since the beginning of the year, but it's becoming much more palpable. And we have reached that point. So think of it this way, in a very simple way, but still uplifting, is that so many generations of light workers. How long you've been doing the Stargate? How many people you've touched over the years? It's a lot of work involved. And I look at the pioneers, even before ourselves, all the light workers, the generations of starseed coming, implanting light, creating that synergy of movement, creating a paradigm shift, moving through the hard obstacles and the programming of cultural backgrounds, societal and historical, and all the above. We are finally reaching that point of a huge breakthrough where all of these counter forces. And I know that many of you watching right now know exactly what I speak of. I feel like sometimes we're going against the wind, we're continuing, and then we feel the energy and we want to be in that beautiful synergy of just beingness. We're finally reaching that point of what is to be beingness, that state of internal presence together in that bubble of synergy, that bubble of connectedness, where we start to realize that the effectiveness of being together towards a common goal with all of our hearts are really coming together, and to simply feel the elevation. I'm going to use my Arcturian stone for this. My beautiful, beautiful Arcturian stone that was returned to me recently by a beautiful gentleman in Ireland. I'm so grateful.
Can you hold it
So
up so we can see it?
I will.
Okay.
I'm doing on purpose, Pragit.
You're
I'm doing on
teasing us.
purpose. I love your energy. You're amazing. So there's a purpose for it. What we do is that imagine multiple hands, and we're rising the earth like this. We're rising the earth. We're allowing the planet Earth to feel our foundation that we're holding. Imagine hundreds and thousands of hands holding the earth, and we are rising together. There's no need to work so hard anymore, like even Alcazar is mentioning. We're imagining, feeling, uplifting the earth. And each of my fingers represent light workers, and there's thousands and thousands of them. This is the synergy of what we call living in unity consciousness with each other. This is also an aspect of how the Octurans we are within our own collective. We are millions of hands supporting thousands of planets like this one. We are millions of hands supporting countless of souls returning to their state of divinity and wholeness and unification. So this is what we are doing all together. And the gathering in Greece is really going to be our invitation to join hands and feel that you're uplifting the earth. And as you're uplifting the earth, you're uplifting billions of different conscious life forms on the complexity of the earth and all the ecosystem that she carries. So this is the image I want to give you. And this is really palpable. This is more powerful than words. And this is an aspect of what we're seeing. I'm going to put it down because it has a weight to it. You can feel it.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous visualization, and there's so much energy behind it. It's very relaxing somehow. Just
That was the goal. Bring that relaxation so we can settle in into that state. Everything that we shared so far was simply summarized in that image that is so relaxing, palpable, relaxing, inviting, and accessible. You
Mm.
can see that we're illustrating, like Pragit mentioned as well, the complexity as well as the simplicity.
Mm.
And I like also when you, Jill, you talk about the relaxation part of it is the invitation, that bubble that you talk about. Are we coming back together? Living in the fifth dimensional frequencies of consciousness, which reflect in the body template, this is an aspect of it
Mm.
where we are in that unification. And each of the fingers or each of the people holding the earth is recognized for its own uniqueness. Your own unique vibrational frequency or your signature is still really well recognized.
Mm.
And that's sort of the thing about, because I can feel sometimes even light workers as a certain concern to feel, where will I be just blended into everybody else and where am I in all of it? It's the opposite. You're
Mm.
shining brighter than ever, and you are recognized for that and the multitude of all of us coming together. So at that point, it makes no more difference whether you are a Pleiadian, a Sirian, an Arcturian, an angelic being, and a fairy elemental, or just a pure consciousness, because we are returning into a point of light. And that point of simplicity is very important to observe. This way, it gets you out of the mind, in terms of the mind wants to explain everything. But what was the word you're utilizing? What a phrase that you say? Not
Mm.
about the words, it's about the energy, the experience behind it,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Beautiful.
It was quite an experience in itself. So I have an idea.
Mm.
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 Based on this image that we just showed you, how about we do a little short activation just to integrate what has been given to you right now? And my Arcturian delegation will come to do this gentle activation, a beautiful, gentle Arcturian light code transmission to really feel the synergy in action. Already feel yourself in this gathering. You're already there. It's already existing as we speak. Because in a quantum field, we're already in that space. How about we do that?
Absolutely.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you for allowing us.
Of course.
Perfect.
So we usually invite people to close their eyes for these
Yes,
activations. So I'm going to put on a graphic on the screen, unless you have something visually that you want to convey. Okay.
it's all perfect. That's
So
exactly what we were going to.
brilliant.
See, we're very much in sync. I love it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for closing your eyes. Allow yourself to take several deep, grounded breaths, grounding yourself to feel the presence of your root chakra and your earth star chakra, which is right underneath your root. It's a double grounding effect that allows you to bring into loving presence, stepping into eternal cosmic presence. And we invite you to feel gently your entire body template expanding with light. With each breath that you take, just see and feel this soothing, uplifting light filling your lungs, activating the inner chi within you. And this gentle activation of your chi brings also your elemental bodies into complete alignment. And you simply breathe into this presence, allowing yourself to receive our Arcturian light codes activation, helping to gently realign all of your chakra system from the Earth star moving all the way through the spine, past your throat, your third eye, and your crown. And just see and feel this gentle, energetic stretch, this expansion, moving all the way to the divine gateway chakra, the 12th point of your universal chakra system. Imagine or feel your own electromagnetic field expanding, carrying more light. Light translates energy into the body, and the body consciousness understand the language of energy and the presence of the light. Allow yourself to have a reprieve, a gentle reset, releasing heavy burdens off of your shoulders and off your field. There is so much that you carry into your historical field that coexists right along with your auric field. Imagine your third eye also opening, releasing all the accumulation of third dimensional imagery, illusions, impressions, allowing to refresh your perspective. And ask your heart to always reveal higher truth, wisdom, directions. Ask your heart to show you the bigger picture in everything, in all dimensions of your life. And by doing so, you are stepping more and more into a fifth dimensional way of being, living, utilizing all of your gifts, activating your intuitive centers, and better understanding the decoding of what realities are about. For reality is made of a multitude of projected, layered realities, imprinted with emotions, filters, historical background, genetic entanglement and genetic memories, ancestral, and so forth. Imagine or feel expanding beyond all of those layers of projected realities and to return into a complete state of wholeness, oneness, all there is. Can you imagine perceiving this grand divine design for what it is rather than fractions of it? And now we are sending our Arcturian light codes, those beautiful geometric patterns overlaid of fractals of light that allow you to rebalance yourself and bring yourself into complete centeredness with your core, with the resonance of your own vibration, refreshing your mind, opening the intellectual, mental field for true knowledge and true wisdom, in complete connection with the centeredness of your heart, opening the gateway of the wisdom of your essence, your soul. It is heart and higher mind coming together. And as you keep breathing deeply and slowly, we invite you to feel and welcome those light codes flowing alongside of your spine and creating a balance between all the international beautiful interfaces of light that is part of your body template. The goal is to completely heal, clear, and cleanse yourself from primal fear energies and other form of lower frequencies and residuals that may coexist still within your body template in all aspect of your solar body of light. And feel the following affirmation that I give myself, my mind, my heart, and my body template complete permission to return into a divine alignment. I restored my inner peace and balance, and I open the gateway of communication to my higher self, my super consciousness, the Stargate energy, the masters of light, as I recognize more and more the master in me. Take the time to simply settling into this new alignment, allowing your body to breathe with you, to feel that your heart is energetic free, igniting new sight of possibility, new sparks of passion, and to feel how much you are here to be of service to the light, all there is. And that includes the nurturing of you, of your body, of your heart, and the respect of the authenticity of who you are beyond identities, absurdal personalities built out of necessity in this 3D reality. Just breathe that you're moving way beyond these identifications. And you're recognizing more and more the inner master of light within you. Remember what ascension is truly about. And are we helping you to integrate everything today with such divine grace and divine ease? We invite you now to take a deep breath in and release. And gently feel that you are reintegrating your physical form in full consciousness, balanced and refreshed. Welcome back, everyone. Yes, welcome back. Beautiful. You're now welcome to be here. Feel the energy stretching a little bit, moving. How was that? How do you feel, Prakit and Jules? I think your microphone is still on mute, Prakit.
He said he doesn't want to come back.
I don't want to come back. That was a beautiful space.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. I heard your lips going, amazing. I want to stay in that energy. I understand.
Yeah, I feel very tingly in my body.
We invite people just to share in the chat how you're
So
feeling.
Michelle saying absolutely blown away. I remember.
Thank you, Michelle.
Kelly in LA. Whoop, whoop. I feel lighter. Anna also wanted to stay there.
Mm.
Oh, Helly, thank you.
Mm.
I think some people are still in it.
Yes.
Yes. Imagining being in person in the same room. Well, we've been physically in the same room. We've been sharing now different retreat opportunity, whether it's a weekend, whether it's a week long. And you understand that when you are in physical presence with each other and you can feel the magnitude of the frequency, the loving presence of my majestic Arcturian presence in my delegation, imagine what it can really create for you. And so we're going to create something incredible, a very deep experience when we are together in Greece during our workshop.
Mm.
And we know that everything that we convey, that we share, whether it's through verbal communication, activations, we know that everything is a collective of voices. It's all of us combining our wisdom, our presence. We are sharing our essence with all of you in everything that we share. And the algorithm of light, the codes, the energy, the synergy, it's an invitation for all of you personally, as a collective, as a community, to be able to feel what is really coming together for you, what is coming. It's an invitation to be more and more this higher potential, to be this higher aspect, this version of you. Imagining combining our light.
Mm.
What can we truly accomplish? And that's our invitation. Let's combine our light. And we always say, instead of uplifting a mountain, we're going to uplift an entire planet. Woo! I'm in.
Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really wonderful comments. Let's
Yeah.
just share a few of those as well.
Okay. Anne is saying, I feel lighter, clearer. I saw a deep purple color towards the end of the activation. Yes, vibrating all over, tingling.
Mm.
You're most welcome.
Yeah. Olga saying, very powerful. I felt it more in my solar than in the spine, but it was epic.
Perfect.
Natasha saying, I know I'm remembering when the tears want to come.
Yeah.
Teresa, I felt so clearly the presence of my superconscious self.
Amazing. Amazing.
And Finn is saying, Linnea and I both felt and saw the light codes traveling up and down our spines.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it's really so special what's been, and just a lot of very simple responses like this. Just so grateful. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you.
And there's a comment here which I just want to share with everyone and respond to it. Kelly is saying, I open myself to Greece. The how is not up to me. Kelly, the how is absolutely up to you. You are the creator. You are not a victim. You are not there to just passively be. There's many ways that have been created to support you being there. Make use of them. Go to the website. Ask for support if that's what you need. And this is not just Kelly. There's many people who feel, oh, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. If it's meant to happen, make it happen. It's like start taking responsibility for what you're living. Call it forth. Take practical steps. Don't just expect existence to bring it to you. It's all there, but you have to call it in. You have to claim it. Do you have any comments on that, Viviane?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. And I just love your energy and your presence, Pragi. Just so you know, It's always such an inspiration for both of you. Of course, Jill, you're just amazing as well. And I just want to observe before I make that comment that I can feel that the activations today was helping everybody to release ourselves. And especially, I can see that for both of you, Jules and Pragit. I feel like we're uplifting some layers and helping you to bring yourself back into purity of your core. And it's going to help. And that's why we want to support you as well. So the
I can
Octurans were,
feel it.
Yeah, same.
yeah, we were very attuned. I'm glad because my group was talking to me to go, oh, okay, we need help here. Okay, we're stepping to the plate.
Uh,
We're stepping to the plate. Absolutely. This is very much what Pragit you mentioned about making happen. See yourself as an active co-creator.
mm,
This way, when you communicate, take the quantum field, for example. It's a field that's constantly reflecting back our thoughts, our belief system, the energy of what we feel that is capable, what is possible, or what it seems to be impossible. So take the time, for example, this amazing opportunity, this global gathering in Greece. I see myself there. I feel I am already there on site. Tell the quantum field that says, okay, now let's open the pathway and let's create that manifestation. Next step, go to the website, says, okay, community, I know I have a strong calling. This is what are my requirements. This is the support I need at this level. What can be done to make this happen? So this way there's an action into movement. That remind me yesterday I did a meditation on the 12th universal law, the law of gender. That is about how we apply the forces of the universe to the divine masculine to the yang and the divine feminine to the yin, and we put the yin and the yang together, we are working with what we call the forces of the universe. These forces are part of creation. So these beautiful archetypes of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in action is an image I want to invite all of you to hold to says, am I giving more energy to my yin, divine feminine, internal, to be internal? I'll go in meditation. I feel, I'm hoping, I'm being compassionate, which is beautiful. But bring your yin into the equation, which is the masculine archetype of those forces of the universe, both together is the co-creation into action. And as much as these two aspects are very much entwined with each other. And for those of you who are part of the meditation, I know I've heard many, many comments that you felt it. It's how we bring ourselves into this much needed balanced state. Like, for example, I'll give you a very palpable example. That day when I was invited to be a guest speaker on the Global Tribe, which is an online event, many of you may already know of it.
mm,
That day, my yin was pulling me into me being in a cocoon. It was the end of the year. I was tired. My body was a little bit having a fever because I was purging. I was going into a reset. So I want to retract into my yin. If I have done that, we will not be here today.
mm,
And then my yang came in and says, we're going to bring you, I'm going to support your yin. You need to be there. So I step into that balance. I show up that day on the screen for 4 hours. And here
mm,
we are today.
mm,
So that's an example of a tangible way you can relate to this. So believe in yourself, believe in that co-creation, feel it. And we'll talk about it and during my workshop in Greece, the Galactic Awareness. We're going to be doing more work with the Arcturian light codes and the universal time matrix as we're shifting from a 3D to a 5D. We're going to be working with the Lyrans. We're going to be working with the Lyrans original console library for the original human DNA template, the solar light patterns, and how it gives you more empowerment to see yourself as a very master in those co-creation, how we are coming back into that it's easy for me to manifest positive thought forms into action and awakening these encoding within ourselves. So just to bring that to already generate more energy is how are you utilizing your inner forces of the yin and the yang, the divine masculine and the divine feminine together. So Yeah, the law of gender, the 12th universal principle, incredibly powerful in this teaching. And now we can apply this just for this example here,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. And actually, Scott is with us. Scott, I don't know if you want to put your information in so that people can connect to the tribe. That would be really cool.
Yeah, the Global Peace Tribe and
Yeah.
the show that they have called The Awakening World.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You and your
Thank you.
team for bringing us together.
such a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of gratitude for sure. But that's an example of it. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I want to do something. Maybe tomorrow I'm not feeling it. If you are in the I'm not, you know that you are in a mental loop. Now ask your heart, how does my heart feel about this? Now, anything that you feel that you are feeling an obstacle, or there's something like, oh, it's always good concept, never for me. Okay, this is a mental loop. Where am I? What part of myself is speaking right now? Ask your heart, bring yourself back. I'm asking the self master in me, this old soul that is having this human experience. What part of me is speaking right now? Is it out of fear of being seen?
Mm.
What other may potentially think of you, or the possibility of what it feels like to travel to an island in Greece, or to be part of a gathering of family worldwide in intergalactic wise, and ask yourself what aspect of me is really speaking right now. Is it to the lower me, or is it the higher me, the higher self moving forward? Imagine, go beyond your limitation, feel, have this vision, open the third eye, look at this blank screen in front of you, a blank canvas, what it feels like to be in Greece. I'm already here. I'm feeling all of my beautiful family of light around me. What it takes to go like, okay, it is decided. I say yes. From yes, then you reach out. Get to the website, reach out. Says, okay, I am clear, body, mind, spirit, and soul. I know I need to be there. I'm reaching out. What are the next step? What else is possible, right? And this is why we encourage you to really be confident, trust yourself, trust. You are living in a very, very intelligent, constantly evolving, shifting, abundant universe. Again, reversal of thought system.
Yeah. Thank you for that encouragement.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I just want to give practical details for anybody who is wanting to come to Greece. You can go to our website, the Stargate Experience Academy.com, and you'll find ways that you can join us in person. We have about 50 plus people who are actually waiting for support to come to Greece. So if you happen to have a little bit extra, everything counts. And we're matching contributions dollar for dollar so that we can get more of our Stargate families supported to actually come to Greece who need the financial support. And
Yeah, I just would like to invite those people that are living in abundance right now, just take a moment and imagine what it's like to be struggling to pay the rent or buying the food, and wanting so much to be part physically with this incredible global family, to actually be there, to be uplifted, to be helped out of the consciousness that keeps us in limitation. Imagine the feeling, the desire that they have. And would you like to support people like that who are on the same path of us, who want so much to open up to this greater reality? Let's bring them in. Let's demonstrate the way that we want to live. Let's demonstrate that every single person here on the earth is part of this process of uplifting the earth into this new reality. Let's help bring those people with us. Those that are struggling very often for no reason other than what's happening in the country around them, the way the country's finances have been manipulated. if you have an extra $10 or €10 or 1,000,
Mm.
can you please come to our website and support some of those people that really, really want to be there? Because what Alcazar has said so many times, giving and receiving is part of an energetic flow. When you give, existence gives to you, not necessarily in the same way, but your gift, your loving, caring gift is acknowledged by existence. So it's a strong, heartfelt invitation. It doesn't matter if it's just $2 or $3, whatever it is, you're intending to support people being there. So,
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. And this is about coming back into community.
yes.
I like to talk about giving and sharing. This is also part of the 12 universal laws, the principle of when we are coming into balance, we are in flow, this infinity level of sharing to the flow of as I give, I receive, and to feel that synergy. This is part of what we are really coming together. So I like the way you share about it.
Mm,
And in Greece, I can tell you that we are going to be there with you. So we bring our Arcturian delegations, including my Arcturian father, myself, and of course my beautiful angelic husband, Peter Benson, will be with me as well, of course, representing Archangel Michael. But we're going to bring an Arcturian, a very important Arcturian presence on the island. And the reconciliation to the planet will be phenomenal, and to ourselves, a lot of restoration, so we can move into a more quantum fluid way of seeing ourselves manifesting, living, coexisting, and elevating. It's all part of the next evolutionary process that we are shifting about. We all hear about, star origins and galactic history and DNA activations and all of it. But imagining being in our presence physically, and
mm,
we're going to bring that energy for you, and what gives an opportunity for you, and collectively and for planetary level we can truly going to manifest is beyond even body template evolution. It's beyond. We have reached that point. We all have collectively for thousands of years been preparing for this moment, and
mm,
on a planet we have reached that level of momentum in the ascension timeline. This is why it's important to stay very clear in your connections, keep your mind clear, avoid too much mental distractions and absorbing information. This is no longer about how much you think you know, it's about reclaiming completely your sovereignty as an already ascended being, and we're returning that point. We're very passionate about this because we can see that it's the multiple timeline of empowerment that we are reaching and then going into that place. So think about the earth and we are supporting. So contributing, supporting each other, absolutely feel it. It's ask your heart, what does my heart wish to accomplish? Where am I?
mm,
And we're going to do so much more together. So I'm really inviting you to sign up for our workshop where the Arcturians is going to be a very unique presence. We're going to bring also the presence of the Lyrans with us. And yes, we know. I just got a little tag here. The Syrians really wants to be here with us as well. And thank you for your support because there's no pay or salary involved with this. We come because we want to be part of this most important gathering, and what we can truly manifest and make a huge difference in supporting you. So when you sign up for our workshop, the Galactic Awareness with the Octane Light Codes that you got just a taste of today, you also supporting my work, and
mm,
so we can do more and travel more and help each other. So
mm.
it's a pleasure. Kind of looking forward to seeing you all of there. And it's above and beyond. And my team says what you're showing right now, it's an aspect of it. There's other future aspect
Mhm.
of this gathering that will be revealed while we're there, and we're going to be able to feel it.
Mm.
And I can tell you, we're going to talk about that on site.
Mm. And so, as you can see on the screen, you can sign up for Viviane's class in Greece, but also it's possible to sign up just for all the featured speakers. And we have an amazing lineup of people that are going to be presenting their energies, their work, their connection. And so if you can, just register for this all access pass, be part of the whole, support all these people. Understand that all of these presenters are gifting us their work. Stargate is not paying them. They're going to be supported by your signing up for their classes, for their sharing of what they're offering to all of us. They're all unique. They're all different. They're all part of the Stargate family. Some of them have been with us for many, many years. This is something beyond the beyond that we're inviting you to be part of. And I'd love to just honor all those featured speakers who are offering their services. And I'd just invite you to support them as they are supporting us. Okay.
Yay.
You know what my Arcturian father said when you said that some of them have been with you and the Stargate for a long time, and it says, so have we. It's just simply in our Arcturian form.
I feel the energy of your Arcturian father, and it is such a delight to be touched by his energy. It really is.
I feel
Well,
really strongly right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
it warms my heart to know that. And Jules, of course, my Arcturian father is there for you as well. Remember that.
I feel him really strongly right now in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, he's. Yeah.
Ah,
Well, we are Arcturians, and we are so unique, and there's no way we can be mistaken for any other intergalactic groups, known and unknown. We are such a presence to us. When you are in the presence of true genuine masters, the Arcturians as they are, there is a unique experience, a vibration, a presence that is just uplifting, and it's always loving. It's always there to bring the best out of you, to empower you. As we see you in your true light, we see you for who you are, beyond these disguise and these features. They always says to me, remember that you're one of us. It's just sometimes you get attached to this form that you're looking at. And I said, that's true, because I'm so engaged in my work, and I'm so hands-on every single day into whether healing, whether it's teaching, whether it's traveling. I'm so engaged in my mission that my team has to remind me, remember that you are an Arcturian being. You're one of us. And I love that when they said, I'm like, oh, it's like I'm coming home to my true essence. So believe in yourself the same way. Believe in who you are. And thank you so much. Always, it warms my heart to be with you and to collaborate, to contribute, to be part of this beautiful, growing family. And it's such an honor. It really is a privilege.
It's incredibly meaningful to us to have you with us, with your galactic perspective. It's so important to elevate beyond the mundane world, beyond what's obvious. And you contribute so powerfully to the way that we're able to understand the potentials, the timeline that we're on, and the impact for shifting it. So thank you so much for being with us. And I'm so excited to go to Egypt and Greece with you.
Yes, that's another one. It's going to be another huge one. And I keep feeling, I keep traveling there in my light body consciousness, and I keep seeing Africa, the whole continent. And I can see the work that we have starting last year, and with these aquatic beings and with the Indian Oceans and the South coming back into the, connecting with the East and the West. But I can feel there is a huge unification coming in Africa. And our presence all together in Egypt, it's going to be pivotal, not only for the sacred site and the codes coming back and the knowledge and unlocking several keys along the way, but when we're going to be on the Nile, utilizing the Nile as a reflective mirror, like really amplifying this reunification of Africa to bring the North back to the continent, bring back the original template, the original design that Africa represent for the earth is the core, the cradle, point of life, the very core of Mother Gaia and for all life. So what we're going to be there, it's paramount. Otherwise, my team wouldn't let me go there physically unless it's really. And then, of course, with the Stargate, I know I feel 100% at ease. Otherwise, I told the team it's lovely, it's the pyramid and everything, but I had no desire to go. And they said, "Oh, you're going there. We need you there." And that's a few years ago. They told me that last year. And I'm like, "I've already gone to Africa." And they go, "No, you're returning to Africa." And I said, "How am I going to do this?" Well, you came along and they said, "No, that's the how I'm going to do this." It's because of the Stargate family. Otherwise, but this is the kind of calling I'm talking about, where you get this thought or this energy, this inspiration, like a wave coming in, and you start questioning it. How this is possible? What am I going to do in all of this? Well, you start to realizing that calling has already a plan. There's an energy behind it.
Yeah.
When you say yes to it and you say, "I surrender to the plan," I say yes, you're starting to reopening yourself to the magnification and the manifestation of all the step that takes you there. Like last year, I was told you're going to go back to Africa. I had no idea of how I was going to do this. Now we're here talking about going to Cairo. Well, Cairo is north of Africa, and we're going.
Yeah,
And
I have goosebumps.
You had goosebumps?
Yeah. I was asked over 30 years ago, when's the Stargate going to Egypt? And almost every year we've been thinking about, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? And we weren't even thinking about it this year. And then suddenly the invitation came and it was a big yes. So it's about timing as well. It's wonderful. And people have been asking, is that going to be live streamed? Yes, it is. And more details about that at another time.
Because of the internet situation, it's going to be part live streamed and part recorded, but we are going to be recording as much as we can of the channelings and activations at these sacred sites. And Viviane, I realized something. I didn't even realize that the day that we're going to be between the paws of the Sphinx is on the equinox.
Yes.
It blew my mind.
Okay. So, Jules, thank you so much for mentioning this, because when we're going to be at the Sphinx, which is the Sphinx been talking to me for months, and I can feel there's a lot of being, there's a great council and very ancient council that is really waiting for us, so to speak. We're going to be there right at the fall equinox. For us, the fall equinox, but on the other hemisphere, it's winter equinox, right? Yes, going into winter. Spring, I mean.
Spring,
Turn around into corner. I'm sorry, everybody. It's going to be fall for us, spring for that part of the world. But the point being is that we're going to be at a conjunction of the equinox/solstice energy right at the Sphinx energy. So you can tell that even at the galactic core level, there's a very specific conjunction, a quantum opening of the timeline. And at that time, we're going to be able to tap into very specific timelines of knowledge reactivation, going into the archives, different level of codes transmission, and we use the word codes as an umbrella that's going to be infinitely much more complex than just the word itself. And then I can see how much we're moving into that level of accessibility. We're coming to be able to open up certain ancient archives. That means that even in our own body template, which is why we bring the template evolution in the mix, because we are moving into that evolutionary opening to allowing these gateways, these ancient gateways reopening within ourselves and our faculties as multidimensional being to access these archives in ways that were probably impossible beforehand because of other things that I'm not going to explore today. But we have been moving into a very specific planetary alignment. There's a lot of activity in my room. That's like they keep coming in. My turns are here. The Lyrians just came. I feel the Syrians, and I want to talk with you, and I keep feeling those portals opening at the same time. So yes, the huge gathering coming in, and they're all there. I mean, they're going to be with us at a level that we can't even completely, fully comprehend at that point. And there is something resurfacing, a re-emergence. That's the word I'm getting. There's a re-emergence that is coming back, that's becoming much more accessible for us. And we're going to, of course, include these aspects during my workshop with the Arcturians, with the Lyrians.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, with the Syrians as well. There's a lot of dialogue going on here.
Well, they're all very much welcomed, absolutely welcome to bring their energies and support. We feel it. We've felt it over the years. And I'm really hoping that I'll be so much more available and open to bring those energies through, because we just really revel in the support that's being shared with us. We really do.
Absolutely. And someone was asking earlier that this question about if the registration is for the live stream and in person. Like, yes, so this all access pass for 111 to all of the featured speakers, and or you can sign up with just Viviane for 25. This is going to give you access in person and online. So if you're coming in person to Greece, this gives you access to come be there in person. And then you'll also get the lifetime access to the videos and audios afterward.
So basically, yes, if you can't be in Greece for personal reasons, you can sign up for this 111 and receive all these different speakers.
Yeah.
And of course, it's always available once you sign up for it. And also you can sign up for the Stargate experience,
Oh,
the global
yeah.
gathering.
I mean, we should mention that. It's so there's actually 2 different live streams happening from Greece. One for the featured speakers and another that's for the global Stargate gathering, which is the main event with Pradeep and I. So you can sign up separately for ours, and then the featured speakers are a different live stream. And again, that's so that we can forward that money to them to support them in being there. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And with the global Stargate gathering, as you can see, there's a number of prices, which we always do for those people that are challenged financially. There's a more inexpensive price. We ask you to support us at the level that you can actually afford comfortably for yourselves, and then stretch yourself a little bit. Stargate is contributing tens and tens of thousands to this process of supporting people from around the world to be there. So your financial support would also be very much welcomed.
Yeah.
And as you can see here, for those experiencing temporary financial difficulties, there's a $33 price. And even if that is too much, write into support and we will make it available to you either free of charge or whatever donation you can work with. This is for everyone. And if you can't be there live, the recordings are there. And people are asking, well, is it going to be the same energy? The energy is shared. The energy is in the quantum field. The beauty about being together is because you get an amplified feeling of what we're doing. And you're surrounded by this field that's created by all these people. If you're at home alone, then what's needed for you is to feel yourself as if you were there, to actually place your energy there. Even if you're listening on a recording, place your energy there with this large group of people. And in that way, you're opening to receive the benefits of those energies. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. And of course, we invite everyone to really take the time to integrate what you received today with the presence of the Arcturians and these beautiful light codes, those geometric patterns of light will continue to integrate with you. And what we'll do is that we're going to be working more also with the emergence of the new grid system coming to the Earth. It's also what's called the bridging between the first harmonic universe to the second that we're moving into, and how we can integrate also the experience from Egypt, the activation to the ancient archives. There's presence also of guardians that we can also see there. There's different councils of light, because there's more than just one, but there's different level of councils, and the guardians are going to be working with us as well. So we're going to bring those experiences during the workshop so you can also feel the continuation of what has been already co-created from Egypt to Africa, Africa to Greece. And we're going to also be working personally. Peter and I are going to go to Santorini before the gathering to work on the Atlantean timeline. That's going to be another factor that we're going to add also that we want you to be a part of during the workshop.
Thank you so much, Viviane, and all those people around the world that have been joining us. It's been a very wonderful experience, and we're back again tomorrow with another of the presenters, and we invite you all to join us again, same time,
So
10
we're
o'clock.
with Siri Barker tomorrow, who is a longtime Stargater since the 90s.
And she's
Wow.
facilitator. She's helped me make Stargates way back when I was living in Colorado, and she's also a shaman.
She's a South African shaman, a Sangoma.
Yeah.
And she's going to be talking about the water spirits tomorrow.
Yeah. So join
Beautiful.
us tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you all. We
Bye.
love you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.